You can put your books down and your supplements down for a moment. I get a chance to share a few words of Torah with you now. But before I do, I want to mention it's 10:24, and the youth services, the kids services start at 10:30. So that's going to be kind of right in the middle of when I'm giving you these words. So just know that in about 5 minutes, the kids services start.
Actually, Michael, it might be less disruptive to your devar for people who are going to youth service or the family service to leave now before you start. For those who don't know, just follow through the door there. There's a spiral staircase. On the first landing is the family service for kids 6 and under. And on the second landing, just follow Kenny. He's the Pied Piper there.
Good idea. Although I kind of want them to hear this too, but they'd probably... So good Yantif, good Yor. What a gift it is to be here with you, and what an incredible responsibility. To be with you, to stand with you on our people's holiest of days. Today we stand at the threshold of life and death, asking to be written in the book of life, the Sefer Chaim. We might feel gratitude for making it this far, for the relationships and the choices that have carried us. We might also feel fear and vulnerability, aware of how fragile life is, how little control we have, and how uncertain the future feels. We are living in a time of extraordinary intensity. Climate catastrophe worsening, wars raging, families torn apart by ICE raids, LGBTQ communities targeted with hate, structural violence against indigenous and black communities continue, rights being stripped away, a government threatening even our most basic democratic structures. This is also a critical and terrifying moment for Jews and for Judaism, even today. Anti-Semitism rears its ugly head. As the anniversary of October 7th approaches, we grieve Israelis killed and continue to pray for the hostages. Many in Israel run for bomb shelters or take to the streets in protest against an extremist regime. And heartbreakingly, Israel continues its daily assault on Gaza, killing civilians, denying food and medicine, destroying what remains of hospitals and schools and homes. It's understandable to want to look away, to feel hopeless or lost. Because even our Jewish communities, where many of us have sought solace, are themselves frayed. Some fractured over what this moment calls us to do. Some among us at Tikkun V'Or feel strong attachments to Israel and connected with Zionism as the belief that Israel should exist as a democratic Jewish state and that we should focus on standing with Israel at this difficult time. taking Israeli security and suffering seriously. Some feel deeply connected to Israel, yet betrayed by its government and compelled to speak out in critical ways. Still others are rooted in Judaism, but do not identify with Zionism, and others actively oppose Zionism, viewing it as inherently undemocratic and as a manifestation of colonialism. And many of us fall somewhere in between all those categories. This is our community. We are divided, and we must be honest about that. None of us holds the whole truth. Each of us carries our own beliefs. And truth is always larger than any one of us can carry alone. Our tradition offers us a gift to help us do this hard work, the practice of tshuva. On Yom Kippur, we engage in tshuva. Its goal is healing and repair. Perhaps it feels impossible at times, yet our ancestors believed it to be both possible and necessary. Teshuvah begins with facing the harm that we have done, looking at it, feeling it, and letting it into our hearts. This is one of the hardest steps. I know for me, it's easier to justify or to explain, to look away or to run away. But that's not tshuva. Tshuva asks us the willingness to feel and the commitment to repair. It calls us into accountability to ourselves and to each other and to God. Torah does not leave us with abstractions. It gives us stories. This morning, we are reading the story of Cain and Abel. Not traditional, but relevant. Two brothers bring offerings. God favors Abel's. Cain, caught in scarcity, lets his heart harden. In their shared field, he kills his brother. Torah's first murder. God calls out, "Where's your brother?" Cain denies and deflects, "Am I my brother's keeper?" But later, the weight of his act crashes in. He cries, "Gadol avoni minso," my guilt is too great to bear. After killing his brother, Cain becomes the first person in Torah to do teshuvah. He kind of invents it out of necessity. To face his actions, to grieve, to reckon, he shows us that even after the worst harm, teshuvah is possible. This story rips at my heart because I see its echoes today and in me. I see myself. I see us. And perhaps others see themselves in Cain. At times I avoid my own racism, ignore harmful patterns that I carry as a man, turn away from the poor or the unhoused, stay silent as undocumented families are taken, hide behind land acknowledgments instead of acting with indigenous peoples, close my eyes to climate catastrophe. In a world of so much harm, we cannot respond to everything. But that does not free us from responsibility. So where are we most accountable? Perhaps it is for the harm we have caused. Whether we knew it or not, whether we saw it immediately or later. In studying Leviticus with a Bar Mitzvah student this past week, we reflected on what it means to witness harm and stay silent. Torah teaches us that if we see harm and do not step forward, we bear responsibility too. So we must ask, what responsibility do we carry? What responsibility do farm workers, delivery drivers, home health aides, neighbors who are unhoused, immigrants detained nearby, immigrants detained further away in our country? We cannot carry everything, and each of us must discern. To me, Teshuvah calls us most urgently to attend to what is closest, to our daily lives, to our community, but not only for harm done before our eyes, but also for harm done for our benefit, in our name. What might it mean to make tshuva like Cain did? To face what has been done, to stop harm, and to learn. Teshuvah calls us to listen to those who say they've been harmed by us, to believe them, and to take responsibility and accountability. I imagine Cain's cries led to a change of perspective, perhaps even a commitment to repair. Will we face our actions? And what are we willing to learn from them? On the high holidays, we sound the shofar, tekiah, a long, piercing cry, a cry from the depths, echoing the cries of the world. Shema, listen. Listen to the cries, the names, the voices, calling for an end to suffering. And I hear God's words to Cain after Abel's murder. Me asita. What have you done? This Yom Kippur, that question turns to us. Me asinu. What have we done? What has been done in our name? We must also ask, ma lo asinu. What have we not done? What have we allowed to happen? Kol demei achenu, the blood of our siblings cries out. Tzoakim aleinu min ha'adama, crying to us from the earth. On this day of confession, I must be honest with myself and with you. I have carried a deep anger, born of grief and born of sadness. Like many of us, I'm still heartbroken and outraged by the murders and the kidnappings of October 7th and by the rise of anti-Semitism. And I have been devastated, and I have been horrified by Israel's relentless assault on Gaza, carried out with the support from many in Israel, not all, and with the backing of many in the US and in the Jewish community. Food aid blocked. Families starved. People killed as they try to feed their children. Every day, at least 50 Palestinians are killed in Gaza. Today, right now. Parents are losing their children, and children are losing their parents. Way more than 60,000 human beings, each created B'Tselem Elohim, in the divine image, have been killed. If we try to read the names of babies who never reached the age of 1, it would take much longer than this entire service. And now the Israeli government says out loud that it seeks to finish the job, to destroy whatever and whoever is left in Gaza. I have been outraged, and my outrage has been righteous, but it has also hardened me. Anger at the suffering done in our people's name, anger at how hard it has been for Jews to speak the truth. Too often that anger has turned into self-righteousness. It has not always served this community, or left room for me to treat those who see differently with care that I want to extend to everyone. Teshuvah asks more of us, not to cling to being right. It asks more of me, not to cling to being right, but to reckon with what we have done and left undone. To take responsibility, to hear and believe those who tell us they have been harmed. So I name this as my transgression, as one of my transgressions, because Teshuvah begins with confession. None of us can live only in outrage. I cannot live only in outrage. If I do, my heart hardens. And a hardened heart cannot fully join this open tent, the project of love, compassion, and truth that we must embody. My teshuvah is this: to let my heart be touched, to feel outrage but not let it calcify into righteousness, to speak the truth and not turn away, to keep my heart soft enough to stay in relationship with everyone, especially across deep divides. Exploring these difficult matters is the work before us as the Jewish people and here at Tikkun V'Or. In our congregation, we have chosen something ambitious. We have chosen something beautiful. And we have chosen something immensely hard. To hold a prophetic, justice-oriented compass rooted in our values, choosing life, honoring the sacredness of all beings, loving our neighbors, loving strangers among us, and also to be an open tent where the fullness of each person is welcome. Wow. And I'll tell you, I practiced that open tent while writing this Devar. I am deeply grateful to have benefited from our community in shaping this sermon through hours and hours of conversations and drafts and thinking and reflection, especially with one of our dear community members and my dear friend Jeff Berkowitz. Thank you, Jeff. And to all who talked with me, wrestled with me, and edited with me along the way. Learning to live with conflict and difference, especially on the hardest questions like Israel and Palestine, means building the capacity to sit with discomfort, to face the pain that arises when we are honest with each other. Belonging is not comfort. It is staying in relationship with honesty and compassion, even when it's painful or divisive. I feel called as one of this community's leaders to help us walk this road together. Even when not every gap can be bridged, my commitment is to hold this balance, caring for you, for us, listening to our voices, and also listening to the voices of those targeted by violence and repression. Seeking ways to navigate our relationships with one another, while holding fast to a clear commitment to stand with those most harmed. If we are brave enough to face our grief, to create spaces of care as well as protest, to recommit to our deepest values, then we will find a way forward. To turn toward one another, even when it's hard, this is the road of Torah. This is the work of tshuva before us. Through every generation, our people have faced hardship and still found ways forward with creativity, with courage, and love. If we can practice that here with each other, then maybe we can carry it into the world. It is beautiful and joyful and also hard and painful to find our way forward as Tikkun V'or, a healing light. But this is the work, and this is the gift. Ayeka, where are you? May we answer here. May we answer here with each other, turning toward one another, guided by our shared values, to choose life, to pursue justice, to speak truth, and to listen with compassion. And may the Holy One, the God of compassion and mercy, guide us on this path of teshuvah. May these values stay before our eyes, our compass and our lens, inspiring us to act even when it's difficult, so that we do not lose our way, and so that the soul of Judaism itself will not lose its way. May we all be written into the book of life. Gemar Chatima Tova.